Good now, revolutionaries, and welcome to the Rise Up Morning Show.
Rise Up Morning Show.
Today is Thursday, August 28th, and this is your place for helpful Web3 news, commentary, answers to your crypto questions, and dream reports. William Watson, chief correspondent, has a dream to report. Take it away.
Yeah, I had a dream last night, and all three of us were in it. And it was we were playing a Web3. We were playing a Web3 game, except the Web3 game was very like futuristic metaversey, where you were in the world, kind of like Evan, how you and I were talking about. That would be cool from last night. And in this dream, we had somehow found out before everyone else through like our connections or whatever that in this one game there was a $5 million actual like NFT prize, like actually $5 million in this game. And you had to do a few things to get it. The first thing is you had to get the magic sword, which was a sword, the first ever sword NFT created by Disney. And the problem is we had to get that head start because the Disney adults were gunning for it. So we're in this NFT world, and we find the magic sword, and we do the thing that finds out that like it's the actual sword, and actually like dented the sword. I don't know why, but anyway, it did. And we were like, oh, this is the real one. So we find out it's the real one, and it gives us the location of where we need to go. But where we need to go is a looter shooter extraction game. And so you also need a 5-man team minimally to finish it. So very much so like Ocean's 11 style, we're trying to find like a fourth guy. And we find the fourth person, but like we're suspicious of everybody because it's going to be one of the Disney adults who just wants the sword and is going to take like the geolocation map from us. And so then we get this guy, but I don't trust him. And you guys are very trusting of him. And I don't really trust this guy. And he keeps like asking to see the sword so he can like know where the map is. I'm like, no, I'm not giving it to him. And then I have to beat up his dad because his dad tried to take the sword. And then I had to take this dude, and we were fighting in the streets of Russia, what it seemed like. And then I had to pick him up, slam on the ground, beat the crap out of him, but I didn't want him to get hit by a car. So I took him to the side, and he's like, oh, thanks, man. And we became boys because I made sure he didn't die. And then he was trustworthy. And then both of you went to go to the looter extraction. You were like doing something on another side of like this compound we had to invade. And then me and this other guy, and for some reason I was in boxers and it was a blizzard outside. I was really cold. But then we go out and we start just like lighting up these people who are defending the compound. We get to the compound, we find the treasure, and it turns into like a Tomb Raider type room. We have to dig through the sand, and we find goopy metal, and the goopy metal we have to put into like buckets and stuff because that is the millions of dollars. And for some reason I was unable to get my goopy metal, and I had to trust Alex to get my $1 million worth of the goopy metal. And Alex, like a homie, he actually took the $1 million. So he had $2 million of goopy metal, and then he put $1 million into my account. I had to trust him to do that. So Dream Alex was a homie, and so then I got my $1 million. And apparently I was boys with a guy who I beat the crap out of and whose dad I beat up. And that was the dream.
With your dad. This sounds a lot like whenever Jordan tries to explain something to me. And I'll give it to you that you kept it all straight, which is crazy.
I mean, it was such a fun dream.
Welcome back to everybody who hit the skip button 3 times in podcast land. And Will, what did you eat before you went to bed last night, man? That sounds like I don't decide if a
dozen Krispy Kreme donuts.
I don't eat anything past 8. These are like normally my dreams.
Man, and
those like usually... that's like if Par will dream, and this is as crazy as it gets. That dream was about like above par by like a little bit, just by a little bit.
See, I can relate to having just the weirdest, most unhinged dreams, but I don't get variety. I've had the same weird unhinged dream like 20,000 times throughout my life. And it's very like compared to that, it's a lot shorter. But it's very strange. It's literally just like I'm on an island camping. All of a sudden I find out the island is infested with cannibals. I for some reason have this like old AM FM radio, and they really want it. And so more than half of the dream is me being chased by a bunch of cannibals because they're trying to get this radio that I just won't give them for some reason. And then I end up in a very deep, very clear pool it's like swimming, looking down at all of this, and then all of a sudden I'm on the bottom, and then I get pickpocketed by an octopus, and that's basically the end of the dream. And I've had that dream
octopus.
Probably 20,000 times, just over and over and over and over and over again.
Interesting. I have a series of dreams that I have over and over again. Like there's a repertoire of them. But whenever they happen, I always now recognize them in a dream, and I can control the dream, and it happens every single time.
Yes,
yeah.
I have managed to do that a number of times. I usually end up getting too excited and I screw it up, but
oh, it's my dream! I finally get this. Oh, you wake up. No.
No, I think they're very interesting because, like, just throughout my dad, for example, I don't know, my mom might not be listening. They're a little under the weather right now. My dad has like never had a dream, and has been the subject of like a sleep study where they were like, something's wrong with you because you're not remembering them. You're literally not having them. And it was like a whole big thing. To my knowledge, he's never like remembered ever having a dream. And there was some weird thing with like not entering the right piece of sleep to like dream, and just never having them. I don't know. He was in some sleep study at some college when I was little. I vaguely remember.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Highlights from weird dreams and highlights from the comments include, first of all, everybody wants to buy the game from your dreams.
It was a lot of fun.
Tori wants to remind you that if you need a dream shaman, maybe to help you wrangle some of the clearly demonic spirits in your dreams.
Dreams.
I'm talking to Alex over here.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, he's an octopus.
You just have some weird Disney goers, some Disney enthusiasts. And she said she could, remember her as your dream shaman, and she would come intervene. Call her on the Dream Radio.
Thank you, Tori.
I really also
would be a good dream shaman.
I also really like Robot Steklerish, who said, Alex, I think about this like, tension in your dream. Listen to it. Listen to this deep thought. Share your connection to what you are to those who aren't. And Bearded said, that is what happens when you opt to not get the chip in your head and put it above your nipple instead, referencing our metaverse devices last night. When they're integrated with our body, where will you put the button? Leave a comment and let us know. Alex, you missed a really good conversation last night. We had lots of talking about the intersections of artificial intelligence, humanity.
Dude, I'm so sad because I tried to listen to it, and I was at baseball like during the in-betweens, but there were I don't know, it was just like so slammed that cell signal was just like not working great and just kept freezing, and I couldn't do it. So I kept hearing like a line, and then I got booted and I couldn't listen. I was big sad.
I am Legion. Blah, ha, 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 Bob says. And in response, perhaps, from another dimension, Robot Steckler says, you're a peaceful person, clearly, but I know the violence it takes to become so peaceful. This is the continuation of that conversation. So your signal is bad, but you're getting the signal now. We were talking about the values alignment problem that more than tech innovation or regulation, the acceleration of artificial intelligence and like the ways we'll have to confront it in society are a problem of aligning human values, is what Maximum Margin said. And then, Will and I just had a great time without you. I want to shout out, Will. I realized I didn't, it was
so fast. It was so fast, and the next sentence started so quickly.
What?
We had so much fun without you, and then we had to change the topic.
It was so nice without you there. Anyway, moving on.
It was the first time. It was not nice because you were gone.
Bitcoin also was
nice.
How about them markets?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You dick.
It was nice because Will and I have really never done a stream together on our own. That was fun. And it was nice because
I get it. I'll start taking a couple days off. I've got a lot of packing to do. I guess I'll just.
Yeah, you can pack it up, and we'll boost these numbers here.
Can you see the tier? The single tier.
The single tier.
Thank you, Robot Steckler, for the transition. Okay.
Changing the subject.
Let's talk about something else. Yeah. Change away. We were talking about meme coins. I would like to talk about meme coins a little bit. I wanted to talk a little more about the crow thing we talked about last night, but you got somewhere you want to take it.
Yeah, well, this is more of just like a mini crypto. Hey, 13 minutes in after a whole bunch of nonsense. Here's the subject of the stream.
I mean, crypto's also nonsense. About 99% of it. So
honestly,
it works. It fits.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. A nonsense preamble to get into crypto feels right.
Don't come for me.
No, don't. So I was just gonna small PSA. I'm just actually doing a little bit of wallet maintenance because I kind of want to experiment with this thing and do the interaction and see what happens. So, but first I have to like clear out the wallet and make a new one and make this one safe and kind of turn this one into my, like old backup one, whatever, to see what happens, just in case it gets shafted as a result. But I was airdropped a token yesterday, and let me see if I can get the contract address over here so we can put it on the big screen. But basically I opened up my wallet to just do some little, shifting some things around the way my account's set up with the checking and the savings. And I noticed that there was just thousands of extra dollars. Well, last night it was like 1,000, and this morning it's like 2,500 or something like that. And I was like, okay, either something did real well or I've been sent something. And it turns out I was sent something. And I did some snooping. And I found out that I was sent a honeypot. And I'm going to show you as soon as I can get this. Where's there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the contract address in the Coinbase smart wallet isn't where you would think it is.
Yeah.
Wait, you're telling me that there are problems with the Coinbase wallet and making it work and its ease of use?
Shout out to Mike for being on the show yesterday.
No.
They're working on it, guys. They're working on it.
Mike, fix the wallet.
They better be, man. Just take what Phantom did and do it again.
Okay, so here is the contract address, and let's take it to a couple places. So first, we're going to sniff it, because it's been a minute since we've sniffed something.
Not even going to take it to dinner first. We're just going
to sniff it. Yeah, just going to grab it and sniff it like classic Joe Biden.
Yeah, we don't take meme coins out to dinner before we sniff them. Anyway, so the first red flag presented immediately after sniffing. Upon first whiff, we realized...
Where are you whiffing?
Token. It is tokensniffer.com. And here, I'll start over. So
Evan, you got it. All right.
You have the old homepage of Token Sniffer, and literally all you have to do is paste the contract address right here, and off you go. And immediately we're presented with some problems. First of all, the score is 0 out of 100. That's not a strong start. Next, we have a warning that this token has been flagged due to evidence of a bug, hack, or scam. Exploit number 1002 serial rug pull. And come down. Now, what's interesting is that this one... So this is an interesting little tidbit. I'll show you another way that you can check this. So this is a sellable token, not a honeypot, according to the swap. And I found out that is largely because they've just allowed randomly a handful of addresses to trade it. So if you're like one of the lucky ones or you're on their whitelist, then there you go. But lots of wallets are stopped from selling it. Missing a whole bunch of stuff, very concentrated liquidity, and then boom, done. Here's another token that's named the exact same thing, different contract address, different things. So this person has been like just making fake Yeezys and dropping them, likely. Now, what's interesting is that this one in particular is probably not the one that's like going to drain your wallet if you try to sell. You're just going to like go to swap and it's just going to repeatedly fail the transaction forever. So what you can do is you can also simulate a swap by going over here to the honeypot detector. And we're going to switch to Ethereum or Base, because you can either check it on the Binance Smart Chain or Base/Ethereum.
What is the URL of this website?
honeypot.is.
I actually don't think I've ever seen this website. I've used other honeypot detectors, usually like built-in things. This is great.
Oh yeah, honeypot is great.
How many chains does it support? I saw BSC and now we're on Base.
Yeah, Base and Ethereum.
Wow. Oh, so no Sol though. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I waited too long. Last night I could check this, but I guess it's been rugged now, so there's no liquidity for it to check. Basically, what honeypot.is does, which is pretty sweet, is it will try and simulate a buy and a swap to see whether or not it's able to, and then kind of give you that report. And yesterday, it basically found that there were 12 addresses allowed to trade this particular token. And then there were, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of holders that weren't. You can also take this another step further and let's go to base scan, which is the blockchain explorer for base. And we will search the same exact contract address. Okay, yeah, so we can tell here that it was rugged. Last night there was some ETH liquidity in this contract, not anymore. And you could basically just see that there was a tremendous number of transfers to like me and then hundreds of other people who all got airdropped this thing randomly. And it's hard to say, why. It could be a random pulling of people. It could be that I held some other token that that my wallet address was on a list of, holders of something. Who knows? But anyway, so PSA, if you see a token that just kind of appears in your wallet and you're not expecting it, treat it like an email with an attachment that you didn't ask for. And it's like, would you like to download this file? The answer should be no every time. And it can be kind of tempting because, like, for example, this one, I mean, it's currently still sitting in my wallet showing $2,500. And if you look at the profile page in the wallet of that token, it's going to be like, would you like to send it, receive more of it, swap it?
Yeah, I would.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like it, but,
Yeah, I'd love to sell it. But unfortunately, I can't. And even if I could, there is nothing to sell it for, which kind of walks you into another interesting little tidbit. This is kind of how liquidity works. So the last thing that I'll show you about this is the deck screener page. And this, I haven't looked at it since last night, so this should show us the moment and then some more information about when they finally pulled the plug on it.
In the comments, I'd love to know if this has happened to you. Exit Velo mentioned Ibiza Final Boss. I told Alex before we got on live, that's been happening going around lately. If this has happened to you and you've gotten a junk token in your wallet that changed your wallet balance, I want to see who the person with the wildest wallet balance is. And I think, Carol, if you're listening, happy belated birthday, my friend. It might be you. You remember that time that Carol called us and was like, I've got $7 trillion in my wallet.
Oh, yeah.
My balance. I know it's fake, but tell me it's not fake because then, it'll be great. And I was like, oh, 7 trillion? Come on, guys. Do some better math. Okay, look at that.
Yeah, so
Still
a chart like this is another just, you don't even need to sniff it or look at anything. No. If the chart looks like this, it's a honeypot. Because it's perfectly manufactured to do exactly this, continually try to, get people to swap and just lure you into simulating things or trying to buy more of it or whatever.
Steckler says, my son has one with like 17 zeros.
He's so rich. God, he's rich.
Rich in spirit.
Makes the white whale look like a shrimp.
Yeah. Oh my
gosh,
yeah.
This is another thing that you'll notice more and more now. It used to be if you came down here, it was just only buys, and then that got too easy to spot. And so now they usually allow some wallets to sell, and those wallets will kind of pretend to sell over and over again. And it's usually just the same person kind of running a swap to make it look like there's sell volume on the chart. This one, they didn't even really take it that far because, as you can tell, there is not a single indication of this ever going anywhere. So now it seems like the this one is here. It's interesting.
And Alex, as you're looking at that and you're considering it, the number one question I'm seeing in the comments is, so how do we remove it? Can you send it to a burn address, or can you hide it or something like that? What's the best practice? And also shout out AppleFed, who suggested that this chart be an entry on, or any honeypot be an entry in a future silly TA contest as the green lightsaber.
There you go. It's the Schwartz.
Kind of what it looks like, that, or I don't know, Tony Hawk's skate ramp. That's what I would do. I would draw Tony Hawk skating up the ramp and then in the very next slide falling off because it's
Yep. Yes, it really depends. You should just be able to hide it, and wallets that don't have the hide feature piss me off. And I feel like it's really not that common, actually, to have a hide. Like OpenSea on their just native dashboard was the only thing I know that was actively working on, or actively putting out a feature where you could just hide stuff that you didn't want to keep looking at because it throws off your balance.
I want to make sure I didn't mishear. You said you mentioned OpenSea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is OpenSea ever going to release a token, or is that just fake conspiracy stuff I see on Twitter? Because I've never looked into it. I just see people talk about it on Twitter, and I think it's just like hopium.
I think it mostly is hopium too, but
yeah.
I think it's like they're keeping it in the barrel of their gun.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come on, guys, keep paying attention to us.
Yeah,
Please.
exactly.
Please.
There's a reason to watch.
OpenSea is probably smart enough to know that as soon as you do an airdrop, everyone leaves.
Yeah.
This is also a really good question. Because it is in your wallet, do you get hit with taxes for receiving it?
Technically, yes, but you can also declare it and just document that it happened, because you could get hit with an income tax obligation for receiving it if you don't declare it. But I do know from firsthand experience that if you just mark it, flag it, keep it like tracked, and then just take the contract address and write that down on the date, that you can just declare it, even in the instance that it's like one that you can't transfer, or that you just like don't feel comfortable touching and you want to just move and vacate the wallet, all that sort of stuff. You can keep track of it. They're annoying, but you can just declare your way out of it.
And when you get these airdrops, guys, it's different in every wallet, but you can hide the transaction. You can't delete it because it's on the blockchain, right? But you can hide it. You can unlink it in your wallet so you don't see it and it isn't tracked as part of your portfolio and stuff. So, just look up how to do that on like a YouTube video, or, you can find the options and buttons available in your wallet.
We have a number of good questions coming in related to this and other stuff. So I'd like to know where you guys want to take it next. But first, let me say to everybody who has a question, we are ending the stream a little early today to do some dedicated Q&A with everybody in the Circle community. Our community is totally free to join. You can check out the link at rumshq.com. Sign up in a few clicks if you haven't. And right at the top, there is a cute little header. If you're on the web version, I do recommend the web version. I think it's a better experience. That says live events. It looks like that if you're not watching in podcast land. And when you click and go there, you'll see that there's a featured event right at the top called Circle After Show. And that's what we're doing on Thursdays, is in the live events tab, in the Circle After Show event, you can click to join this event. You can click to RSVP the week ahead and get a little notice. We are going to do like a Zoom call, like a TikTok live, but instead of being character limited to comments, you can type long comments. You can post a little screenshot of what you're looking at. And the best part about the Circle community is that it is much easier for us to keep everybody there safe. It's not like Discord where there are a bunch of scammers and impersonators, or like on TikTok or everywhere else. So we really would love to see you there. We're going to end a little early to go over there. If you've got a question we don't answer during the stream, that would be a great place for it. The Circle community is where the show lives 24/7. You're so sick of hearing me say it, but it's true. The only thing missing, my friends, is you. Now, one of the comments I wanted to touch on was about should I buy tokens that are like this, that are not honeypots, but that are going up big, very volatile. Often they're meme tokens, but people are asking in the chat about CRO, which we talked about yesterday. And I wanted to talk about Yeezy specifically, since you brought it up, and also CR7. The Cristiano Ronaldo trend is coming back. So permit me to be very quick, show two different charts. Somebody hit me with a screen share on TikTok. If you are somebody who is hearing about a token for the first time, it is usually too late to buy it if it is a meme coin. Case number one. At this moment we find ourselves in right now, some meme tokens like Doge, they've been here forever. If you're buying and holding Doge hoping for generational wealth someday, you're probably not going to get it. It's so big. It's so established. It's so in like the zeitgeist, but out of vogue. You know what I mean? that you're not going to get rich on it. A token like this, on the other hand, Yeezy, everybody's been waiting for Kanye to launch a token. If you don't know, now you know. It's been talked about on Twitter for years.
Everyone has?
I just mean to say, people on crypto Twitter, everyone. The 2,000 people on crypto Twitter have been talking about it for a long time. They've been speculating about it. And meme coins really are an insider's game. It's not that they're smarter than you or more capable than you. They just have the relationships and the insider kind of tools, the knowledge. This was launched by wallets affiliated with the Libra rug pull. And a bunch of insiders got an early allocation. This is the 4-hour chart for Yeezy. If I go to the 1-hour chart, I mean, look at that thing. It's painful. There was basically an hour of up activity, and then it's been down only. This thing went from being a market cap of probably, I don't know, it's tough to say when I'm looking at Dex Screener here.
You can switch it to market cap above you.
Oh, I can. Great. Probably about 50 million. And then, yes,
straight up. Yeah. There you go.
And then it went up to over $1 billion, and then immediately started coming down. You can't even see the top of this candle. And it's been down only. A lot of meme coins these days are like this. When you find out about them, it's too late to buy. You are not in the club, and somebody else is going to use you if you buy in as their exit liquidity. Cristiano Ronaldo, this is another one. There have been like dozens of these tokens that people have been excited for. They're like, Cristiano Ronaldo is going to launch a meme coin. That sets you up to be the mark because you're waiting for it. You're hearing about it. And then when some influencer that you trust, because all they post about is making money with meme tokens on Twitter, posts the chart, usually it's an inside job. They have airdropped, portions of this token to themselves, or they've been quietly buying it. In the case of this particular token, this is a token that was launched months ago. And it died. And then people were buying it up because they thought, we could orchestrate a really great scam. Everybody's talking about Ronaldo token. It's hype right now. And that's exactly what happened. Somebody posted the contract address, said, this is the official Ronaldo token. It went from just a couple $100,000 in market cap to almost, you can't see the top of this candle either, but almost 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came crashing back down.
I mean, this is a tale as old as time. This is what they all look like.
I will say there was a time when it felt like a lot of them had a little more life. Like they'd get a second pump or maybe a third pump before they totally died. But I feel like meme coins lately, and I don't spend a lot of time here, get one big pump and they're done.
There's too many. It's too easy. It's too easy to make one and launch it. Why would you bother trying to revive an existing one that you've already, oh my God. I've gotten 4 phone calls in the last 8 seconds. Just like, take a hint.
Now, I want to compare this to CRO because people are talking about this. CRO has continued to surge after the news that World Liberty Financial, the Trump family, and Crypto.com are establishing a digital asset treasury for Chronos tokens, Crypto.com's token. And Will, we talked about this last night, and you were like, no. I was like, nope. We both said this is a big move up, especially when you consider where it's been recently on the medium term. And also the foolish people who are saying it'll go back to $1. It's got to, it's almost been there before. Why is it that I would say they're foolish? Why is it you would say they're foolish? Is this a good time to buy CRO? What would you be looking for? What do you think?
Well, if anything is up this high, you don't buy that, right? If you think it has whatever has changed fundamentally that has driven the price of the asset, in this case CRO, if you have conviction that that's enough to really kind of keep it running upwards, you don't buy it this high. You wait until there's a dip because there's always a dip, right? So you wait for that opportunity. Buy on red days, not on green days. General rule of thumb, you're going to be way better off. The other thing is that because Chronos hit a high back in 2020?
Yeah.
What's that high? Can you zoom out on that chart?
This is actually 2021, just like with
2021. But you have, salty bag holders who have been holding their CRO from all the way back then, who are just waiting for a pump like this to sell on you because they just want some of their money back. And they're happy to see that it's up a little bit. And so it makes it harder for these pumps to go up and retain and keep building. I mean, you can see on that chart, and I'll share on TikTok here. You know, you can see on this chart there was a little. Evan, actually, just keep it off. Yeah, you see that little pump here, and then crash, and then you had another pump that was a little bit bigger and crash, and now you have another pump here, and you're probably going to have a crash again. But
if you zoom in, you see that kind of thing here too.
Yeah, and I'll change my opinion on that if it can hold one of the highs from one of those previous pumps. If it can do that, then you could actually have Crow, continue to go upwards. But it hasn't proven to us on its chart that it has the ability to maintain higher lows and to keep building that strength. Until then, you got to wait for it to prove itself to you.
And I would say, the chart is a helpful indicator, and the fundamentals you speak about, I would need to see some of the fundamentals of crypto.com has been on the floor at every basketball game, in the octagon for MMA. I mean, it's been everywhere. It is probably the most, maybe not the most, but one of the most recognizable crypto brands for everyday people. Yeah. And that has not been enough to buoy the price.
Nope.
These are two very aligned actors who have a lot of capital, relatively speaking, who can not only move money, but who can move headlines. And so they can move other people's money. But that doesn't reflect a change of anything about this token, anything about the underlying company's products or services, how widely used they are, or competitively how the landscape has or has not necessarily changed. I would want to see, as Will's looking at the chart and we're looking for higher highs, I'd also want to see
higher lows.
Or higher lows, excuse me, thank you. Are switching over from Coinbase to crypto.com, that crypto.com is rolling out services and products that other people want to use more. Hype can move markets, definitely. But I don't think it can sustain them the same way that...
well, sure they can. Look at every other cryptocurrency that's doing well and getting higher lows. Hype's the only thing that matters in this market for 90% of projects that are green.
I mean, sure, but I feel like I think it's tougher to predict with conviction and certainty how a hype-based narrative will unfold than it is to say Solana is hype. Millions of people also happen to use it to spend billions of dollars every day launching meme tokens and doing this and doing that.
Yeah,
and
that's obviously better.
Ethereum is hype because it's going to get an ETF with staking, and that's great. But it is, as you said last night, the only option for people in traditional finance who want exposure to crypto to earn that staking yield. That is hype.
When that gets turned on,
dramatically substantive also. And that is easier to, there are metrics for that we can track and point to and hold up against other assets. I just think it's in the business of speculating. I would rather, personally, this is just me, I would rather get something that is seems more certain when I'm trying to predict the future.
Yeah, for sure. But if you're looking for quick trades, all you need is hype. But if you're looking to invest, then you need more than that. But what is the extent of this World Liberty Financial Kronos combination? Is it literally just Kronos paid the fee to be able to be put in World Liberty Financial's wallet? Is that literally it, or is it more than that?
I am so glad you asked, Will. And on my way to pull up the article, let me shout out Joe, our friend, who sent this to me, news of this. She broke this news to me probably, what was it, Joe, if you're in the audience? Was it 4 days ago? Way ahead of the pump. So I hope she was in and got to capitalize on it. What we are, hold tight, looking at, if you want to see it, is from The Block, theblock.co. Great source here. The TLDR, Will, is they've created a digital asset treasury that is dedicated specifically to stockpiling Crow. It's a combined fund between them. $1 billion in Crow tokens, $200 million in cash, $220 million in warrants, and a $5 billion equity line of credit. Trump Media also signed a separate deal with Crypto.com to integrate Crow into its Truth Social and Truth Plus platform.
Okay, so Crypto.com has paid the Trump family a lot of money to eat up a lot of the available supply of Chrono to create a pumpamental kind of situation.
That's exactly right. They're two actors. And I would, the next places I would go if I was wanting to capitalize on this or look on it deeper or confirm what Will said, I'd go to something like Arkham, Intel,
Arkham, that is it. I was trying to think of that. Yeah.
I would look up the World Liberty financial wallets. You may have remembered a couple months ago, we were talking about how World Liberty was doing an exchange deal with people, basically saying, hey, if you want to get into our token sale, we'll also buy some of your tokens. And it was like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And the question, of course, is, well, who else, if they're buying Crow's tokens and they're doing this kind of deal with Crow, who else is World Liberty Financial or the White House, generally speaking, President Trump's family? Who else are they supporting? And the answers with the bullet are they're buying a lot of Ethereum or have bought a lot of Ethereum. They have a lot of Aave tokens. They have a lot of Ethereum.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I have it up right now.
Their Aave V3 position is huge.
They have USD1 as their biggest value in their wallet at $200 million.
That's their stable coin.
Yeah.
But their stable coin is in bed with Aave and Athena. Okay. Let me see if I can unravel it. I honestly would have to go do another search, and I might have to, switch my brain, but they're in bed big time with Aave and Athena. And it's not even necessarily a friendly partnership. Like, this Crow partnership is friendly. These guys are going to the White House and talking about how great Donald Trump is. Link, the team from Link, Sergey, what's his name? He's doing the same kind of thing. He is at the White House fluffing the dude up. I am amazed that they don't have like a Ripple XRP digital asset treasury, because they were at the White House fluffing this brother up.
Well, they're definitely upset at the heads of Ripple because they also gave a ton of money to the Democrats.
Yeah, playing both sides of the coin. I get that. But they have a vested interest in also Tron. Justin Sun and Donald Trump have been making a lot of, lovey-dovey posts lately. So I would not be surprised to see if this is the kind of deal they're going to do. It seems likely that they might do something to promote the value of other assets that they hold. Tron, Link, etc.
Well, I mean, hey, if World Liberty Financial is putting money into Crow, that does certainly help put Crow in a position to maybe hold one of those higher lows. But let's wait for confirmation on the charts first.
100%. I agree. And honestly, I'm not holding my breath for it, personally.
Can we...
Alex,
take your time.
This whole thing is literally taking years off my life. I hate it so much.
I mean, I'm not a fan of
it. It just takes all of the scam and insider information that's always existed in crypto and stocks and just put it a little bit more in center view, because we can see it all. It's also coming directly from the White House now. So,
you want to talk about a thing
owning parts of public companies. So also getting cuts of revenue from Nvidia and other. Don't worry about it. You just gotta understand the game's changed, and you gotta position.
The game has changed to there's no rules and corruption is in season. It's just flagrant market manipulation. Kronos is already in hot water because they just unburned millions and millions and millions of their tokens.
Oh, that's right. I knew they did something shitty not too long ago.
In direct opposition to what all of the holders wanted to be voted in favor of. And then, of course, some mysterious, like the foundation comes in with a fat supply of tokens and outvotes everyone at the last second. And then they reissued a shitload of tokens that they had already burned. So fuck that. And that proves to you right there that none of it means anything.
Yeah, CryptoCut.com is shady as fuck.
Turns out that burning was, in fact, just a marketing tactic. And I will say, for the record, that I made a video years ago about what bullshit burning is. Like, it doesn't mean anything if the person who creates the entire supply of something decides to destroy some of it. It is a bullshit marketing tactic for no other reason other than market manipulation. And now here you are, a known market manipulator with his band of manipulators buying a pile of bullshit, manipulating the price up specifically. There was no other reason for that to increase. And bada bing, bada boom, make millions and millions of dollars, pump it into your own supply of whatever. And then your pay to play party gets stronger when more rich people get to pay you to artificially inflate the value of their thing. Because even if you hate all of it, why wouldn't you speculate on it? And that's free money for whoever's driving the bus. And it's you want to talk about the thing that's going to like be the most likely to actually seriously hurt this whole industry moving forward? It's this. It's the fucking administration just running roughshod over the entire industry to try to squeeze as much money out of it as humanly possible, and making it so that everyone who does hear about it hears about it in the context of whatever is happening to manipulate the market with it and steal as much money from as many people as possible. And enough people will look the other way because someone else is going to make money off of the whole thing too. And there you go.
That's right.
Yeah, totally.
We do have a couple more questions, but Will, I know you've got a hard stop, so I would love to give you the opportunity to share a final thought or a weekend, prediction, something like that.
Ooh, let's just see the jobs data for this week.
That's right.
Come
Has
out
it
15 minutes ago. So let's see.
Hot off the press, ladies and gentlemen.
Or does it come out at 9:30? I thought it came out at 8:30.
I
Let me
believe that's
see.
what you said yesterday, but maybe they stopped.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. I can spare another minute or two. Beautiful looking GDP and jobs data. That's no, come on, give me the actual data. I don't want someone's opinion on it. Come on now. All right.
And then next, I want to go to Katana. Eddie and several others have had questions about withdrawing from Katana or using the money to do something different. So good questions. Hold tight. Hold tight, sir. We're coming.
Hang on a second. I'm having a hard time finding this. Give me 1 second. I gotta do some typing. Going on mute.
I am having a hard time every morning.
Stall.
I don't know how to sell this thing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. Kronos is up big today. In case you missed it, we just did a whole good segment on it. We had one on it last night too. Let us know if you're taking profits on your crow. I hope you are. You may never get this opportunity again. Or maybe it'll become like a new arrow and set that low or high. High or low. Words are hard.
You're playing on the luck. None of it means anything. Like the speculation here is how long will it remain manipulated before they wash their hands of it and move on to something else because they think that this one has run its course.
I agree.
You're total grifters.
It's fucking disgusting.
It's rough. Can the auto pooling, Junior asks, that Katana does be done manually to earn an even higher yield? I mean, maybe. Probably not without more risk and more work. Right now on Katana, there's 49% yield on USDC. I don't know where else you're going to get that. I heard your Do we have it yet?
Yeah. So the initial jobless claims for the week fell short of expectations. So we were expecting about 230,000 jobless claims that came in at 229,000. Down from 234,000 the previous week. So this means basically that like there's a little bit of job retention in the market over the past week. Yeah. People aren't hiring, but they're also not firing at the current point in time. And from talking to my clients, I know that they're not really looking to fire people until we get a little bit closer to, Christmas, which is going to be unfortunate, closer to the holidays. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, who knows about this data? It's probably going to get revised in about 3 weeks to an interesting, crazy degree. We'll see. It happened to last time. So we'll see, but that's it. So it's not the data that we would have wanted. We would have wanted to see jobless claims increasing as opposed to decreasing. That's for initial jobless claims and also continuing jobless claims. But
got it.
Continuing jobless conversation will naturally go down over time because if you are continuously unemployed, they stop tracking you after like 6 or 7 or 8 months or something. And then they just go, oh, you're just someone who can't work. And then they stop tracking you as someone who's in like the workable workforce, even though you might very well be, able to work. But that's it. So we didn't get any data that we, really liked. It would have been nice for the market if unemployment data was like, hey, it really shot up because it would help the odds of us getting rate cuts. But the odds of rate cuts are still 88, 87%. So
can you explain what the connection is between jobs and crypto?
Yeah, so it's a macroeconomic thing, right? So everyone in crypto and in stocks are looking for rate cuts to happen, and rate cuts increase the total amount of liquidity in the market because it makes it cheaper to borrow money. So more people borrow money, there's more money around, more people invest in stuff. It creates a better risk on environment. What are altcoins? Risk on assets to the nth degree. And if you have cooling inflation and heightened unemployment, the Fed is very, very, very incentivized to cut rates. And so that's why we were looking for higher unemployment rates this week, but we didn't really get it. This also isn't a big jobs report. You know, it's not like the monthly jobs report. This is a weekly one, so it's not like a huge data point. But it would have been nice,
yeah,
to have seen a lot of people be fired the past week. Nice, you know, for the purpose of rate cuts. Yeah, it's not good for the economy. It's not good for people. But hey, so yeah, that's that. But I got to run.
Hey, Will, thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for hanging out with me yesterday when Alex couldn't show up, and have a great day. We'll catch up to you soon. Will Watson,
see you next week.
Okay, a couple more minutes. Plenty of time for your question. Robert Steckler asked about Merkle in Morpho. Alex, could you maybe look that up? And I want to handle this bevy of Katana questions. The question from Mr. Robot Steckler-ish is, what is Merkle, M-E-R-K-L, not Merkle trees? I had something to claim when I logged into Morpho and saw money to claim. Morpho is new to me. Don't be sorry. For everybody who's curious about Katana, shout out to my friend Eddie in the comments. I know he's hanging. Oh no, yeah. Okay, good. Here we are. Sorry. Sorry, podcasters. Today is a special episode for you where we are on, baby. If you are on the podcast platform of your, you know what I mean. Words, people. If you're listening on podcast land, come see the screen share. I'm showing you Katana, okay? When you connect your wallet, what you will see is an interface that shows an overview of all the different yield opportunities. That's the very first thing. I am referring to the desktop layout of this site in case you're listening, but you may find a similar experience on mobile. It's not that different. In the overview tab, you see a dashboard with all the different assets through Katana's website on their network that you can deposit to earn a yield. They've got wrapped ETH earning 20% right now. They've got a Bitcoin vault earning 10%, AUSD. And if you hover over these percentages, it'll show you exactly how this yield is distributed. For example, this 53% AUSD yield, that's APY, meaning annual percentage yield. It's compounding on itself over the course of a year. That's what you can expect to earn. This is estimated based on last 90 days. And to be clear, this vault isn't even 90 days old. So take that with a grain of salt. Sorry, I had to check on something in StreamYard. There we go. Let me get this back. Here we go. Some of it is going to be treasury bill yield. They are literally buying treasury bills or investing in somebody who has bought them and earning a return on it. Some of it is interest from lending on Katana, a very small portion. Most of this is Katana token rewards. You are staking, lending, whatever in DeFi to earn a reward. On Katana specifically, the reward you are lending your assets to earn is Katana tokens. The bet you are making is that when they airdrop them to you and when you can sell them, they will be worth more to the tune of 53% per year than what you are depositing in this vault. It's totally speculative, but it's the kind of bet that a lot of people in crypto will make again and again, that a lot of early, I've got my quote fingers up, people like to make, insiders like to make, because you're getting access to a token before the rest of the market. The play when you get these tokens is largely going to be to sell some of them to recoup some amount of profits. And then if you are confident in the protocol based on its activity, based on your experience, to potentially buy the dip or hold on to them, because DEX tokens or layer one tokens often go up in value, but not always. If you want to see your specific holdings and withdraw them, you go to the holdings tab at the left. You can see I've got some USDC, some ETH, some CAT tokens in a wallet. I cannot sell these. I can sell my ETH and USDC. The cat tokens you can see are locked. We are waiting. Probably they don't have a determined firm date yet, but this is the kind of thing that we will notify you of because we know a lot of people are staking here. Now, excuse me, staking, lending, or contributing to a vault. You can see I have some tokens in this USDC vault. They display below. I'm earning 49% APY in the form of a little da-da-da-da, little da-da-da-da, and cat tokens. I can either deposit more with this button or withdraw with this button. If I click this withdraw, it'll ask me to enter the amount I want to withdraw. I'll sign a transaction and boom, I'm done. I've got my tokens out of Katana. I can take them somewhere else with any yield I've accumulated being distributed to me either at that time or at a later date. So if you've got more questions about this or you need a walkthrough, this is something we've done on the after show. We've done it on office hours, and we'd be glad to walk you through it too. I'd be curious to know if you're losing conviction in Katana, why? Alex, I kind of feel like maybe this is one of those things I think we can never over-explain. Like when we're talking about Katana or staking Paul tokens or doing something to earn a future yield, especially when there's an airdrop involved, like all the different steps that happen after. How long are you going to be locking this capital up? I think a lot of people are surprised when there's a lockup period or they can't get their cat tokens. And I think, I think you always did a pretty good job. I think I always have done a pretty good job of communicating that. But until you get into these interfaces for yourself, I think a lot of people are like, well, how long am I going to be parking my USDC here, man? As long as you want to until the tokens are unlocked, and then as long as you want to after. But really, the play we're making is the more you believe the cat tokens will be worth, the more hypothetically you would want to allocate to this in order to get them before anybody else can get them. And then, frankly, sell some of them or keep using the protocol if you like the experience. That's how DeFi works. You talked about it the other day. We had a really good talk about points and airdrops and new tokens and things like that. What did I miss, Alex? Are there other considerations that people who are staking, I keep saying staking, who are lending their USDC here, who are feeling like, well, what's going to happen? I'm confused, or should I put it somewhere else? Did we miss anything for them? Would you say anything to those people?
I mean, I think, like you said, it just really depends what you want out of the whole thing, or where you feel comfortable allocating money to. I mean, there was a comment in here about ever since Celsius, I've felt sketchy about lending, and I mean, that's fair. There's a lot of different kinds of protocols that adhere to different rules. There's the centralized ones. There's the less centralized ones. I don't know. I mean, I usually try to go more with reputation of the platform than like just chasing APY, just because it makes me feel better. And some of those can be a little bit sketchy, but I mean, with these, like if I don't have an issue with, if something requires a lockup period, then I don't know, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's clearly disclosed, you're aware of what you're doing. Yeah, no, I don't think I would really add too much to it.
I actually have one very quick thing to add, which is that if you are, Alex, you had trouble withdrawing, I know. I'd like you to tell your story, but I want to speak to these people first who are experiencing a need some gas error.
Yep.
This website, it's operating on the Katana network. Katana, like Ethereum, like Base, is a network where cryptocurrency assets can live. And that if you want to move cryptocurrency assets on, will require gas every time you do an on-chain transaction. In this case, the gas token is ETH, but it's ETH on the Katana network. If you don't have ETH on the Katana network, you won't be able to withdraw your tokens. You're going to get an error. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to use the deposit and earn tab to bridge. Oh, and actually now they've got a bridge button here at the top of their website. And I would imagine this is the same for mobile. You will use the bridge button to bring some Ether tokens, ETH, over to the Katana network. If your wallet does not support the Katana network, don't fret, don't sweat. You can use one that does. You can import your wallet into any app. MetaMask will support it. Does Coinbase Wallet support it? Let me see. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think they do. And we can find out. That's something
I know Trust does.
To follow up. Trust Wallet?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. I also think Uniswap Wallet does. I might be just pulling that out of the air.
I had to
What was
switch
your problem that you were having when you couldn't withdraw? Because it was a nightmare for you. I do remember.
There's an interesting conundrum happening in crypto land that I don't understand. And I've asked people directly from all of the particular protocols. No one's ever been able to give me an answer. They're all like, that shouldn't work. And I'm like, yeah, well, fucking it did. It did.
I like it dud actually for it.
It dud. That's how it feels.
When it did, but it wasn't supposed to. It dud.
It dud. No, I've been able to contribute, deposit, or send from Phantom multiple times to Anchor, to Katana, all this shit. And then when you go to like interact with it or withdraw it or whatever, all of a sudden it doesn't support Phantom anymore. So it'll take the send, it'll show up as an option to connect, and then all of a sudden it's not an option to connect anymore. And so I had done that. I did all of my like contributions and delegations through Phantom. And like I've sent like someone from Anchor was like, that shouldn't have happened. I was like, yeah, well, here's the address. Go look at how much Anchor-matic is sitting in that wallet right now. That's the only interface I've ever interacted with it through. So I have no idea. I wish I could get an answer. I have never been able to get an answer from that.
Yeah.
So I've long given up. But basically what I had to do was, because of that, and because it was attached to that wallet, and because like the liquid staking tokens that had been given to me were in that one wallet and I couldn't move them without potentially screwing up the whole thing, I had to import the wallet into a new wrapper. So basically I took my seed phrase and imported that wallet into a fresh Trust Wallet account. So basically now my same Phantom wallet, my wallet that is mostly used through Phantom, can also be used through a Trust Wallet that I have. Use that to connect and withdraw, which then worked, but then ran into the problem wherein when you deposit, even if you deposit on a different chain, so like the USDC that I had deposited was on Polygon. In the act of depositing, Katana, the protocol, naturally bridges all of it over to Katana. And if you want to withdraw, you have to do it on Katana. So then, like Evan said, I didn't have gas on Katana. It was on ETH, which doesn't matter. So then you have to bridge it, which then means that you also need enough gas on the bridge from chain to be able to facilitate the swap. And because you could only bridge from ETH to it instead of from everything else that it's on to it, you had to then go like buy ETH on ETH and do the whole thing. It just took forever. And then of course the interface itself was kind of mediocre. And like the button literally just didn't work. So I had to click it like 1,700 times over the course of 2 or 3 days until it finally actually sent the transaction.
This is such a good conversation to have, because everybody in the comments is saying, I was trying to figure it out for hours. I had to do this. I had to do this. This is one of those experiences, just like maybe getting your first wallet, sending crypto for the first time. When you are bridging or contributing yield, I cannot talk DeFi today. When you are contributing tokens to earn yield, you are going to run into a lot of stuff like this, especially when you're using a new network. I also, like right now, for perspective, I just recently went to Aave and deployed some ETH to earn potential airdrop of Linnea tokens. I don't know if that's how you say that network. It's been in testnet for years. They have announced they're doing an airdrop. It's coming this fall. And just like Katana, you are putting up assets like ETH or USDC because they're doing special bonus programs with protocols like Aave, with our friends at like Turtle Club, things like that, incentivizing people to put liquidity there to earn some of these new tokens before everyone else gets them, or extra tokens. And you have to, when you start a new network like that, you got to seed it. We have the opportunity to be those early stage investors in crypto, but really what you're doing is you kind of got to hold your deposits there through launch. You don't usually know that if you're doing this for the first time. Launch of the token. Launch of the token is always like, well, we're going to do it in Q4. We're going to do it in October. And then there's a little asterisk that's like, maybe, no more than 30 days after the start of October or whatever. So there's some uncertainty there. There's also uncertainty if you're using a new protocol for the first time. Their interface is going to be a little different. And you're probably going to have to use their exclusive wallet, setting up a new wallet interface. You're going to have to use some kind of bridge. And eventually, when I want to claim this stuff, I may or may not have a lockup period. I'm going to have to look for that to see, like, is there a penalty to withdraw these tokens early, get them assigned to my wallet? And I'm going to have to watch. I'm going to have to stay on the news. We'll do this for you because we know a lot of people are holding Katana tokens, but you're gonna have to watch it. When does Katana token, claiming go live? In the sense that the token is now liquid, it is live. And when it goes live, we expect with any airdrop that it's probably going to experience a sell-off. It's probably going to start off at 10 cents a token is what they estimate for Katana. I don't know what they estimate for Linnea, but then there's going to be a sell-off because people who get that token, the incentive is to sell it. And then you kind of decide where you want to go from there. This is a good experience to go through because it is frustrating. Some wallets don't work. The bridge fails. It takes a long time. But next time you do this, you're going to be so much more confident. And then eventually you're going to be, like me. I am a fumbling, bumbling DeFi user. Alex would say the same in the sense that we're not, going out and looping and leveraging. And we're really not level 5 building protocols DeFi users. But we can do it. Can't we, man? Like, Alex was pissed. I had to hear about it, but he figured it out.
Well, and I sent them a whole report about
right.
it.
And now that you have friends, all around, you can give feedback and hopefully meaningfully save somebody else from having just a why does the user experience suck so bad in crypto? Probably because we have to build these tools from the ground up because they hadn't existed before. So you're early. That's the good news.
Yep. Oh, that's it.
Yep.
It does suck though.
Eddie says, I only went to Katana because of you guys. No pressure. Thank you. It's good to walk through it though for the first time. And I hope I mean,
at the end of the day, it worked. It's just a very clunky,
that's right,
shitty process that really needs to get worked on. Like there needs to be, and it's the thing to keep in mind too, is that this is part of it kind of makes sense and it needs to get cleaned up and disclosed better because there's nothing that states that any deposits will be automatically bridged to Katana and that's what you will have to use to withdraw. Yeah. That was never specified. Also, fucking Phantom and everyone needs to figure their shit out because that is so annoying. It makes it like nearly unusable on basically anything EVM because that is this, like, it supports a number of EVM chains and lots of protocols put it in their list. But then, like, if you have multiple browser extensions with different wallets, like, never knows which one to grab and there's like no way to pick which one it wants. And it's the stuff works, but you have to know and have practiced things before to like feel good about trying to fumble your way through the horrifying maze of nonsense and terrible user experience that you
and I want to be clear, like, we, at least I and I think you did too, like, knew this was going to be rough. This is like Moses leading the Israelites to freedom. You got to walk over the Red Sea. You're probably not wearing shoes. You're probably really hungry, and like, you're out of Pharaoh's grip, but like, it's the wilderness, baby. And
well, honestly, the biggest thing that pisses me off that Katana did too, which, like, I understand it, this can be hard. They have like a ticket thing in their Discord. The people answering the tickets they don't know what they're talking about. They're Discord moderators. They're not engineers. They're not protocol employees. They didn't build anything. They're just like a guy who got a shitty manual. So if anyone like brings you something that's off script, you just have no idea what to say.
Yeah.
Which is a tough thing to navigate because customer service in crypto is awful, notoriously, largely because most people just don't know what they're talking about. But I mean, that's really got to change. There's got to be like a consultation process for claims tickets in forums like this to actually be routed to someone who knows how to answer the question.
And I will also say, let this be a lesson to you. If you were like, man, this was a painful experience, that might be an indicator that you probably contributed more money than you felt comfortable with. The steps for you would be to go through that withdrawal process and do it with the community. Like, don't feel like you got to do this right now. You're not in imminent danger.
No.
They've got your deposits. But this may be a slightly difficult and frustrating process for you, and we're here for you. And that's why, we've got the premium membership, the trial. If you are like, I cannot do this, I need Evan or Alex to hold my hand, call us. Like, we got appointments on our calendar. We will do that for you. And if you want to do that, you should sign up for the premium trial to get the discount to do that. And then you'll know next time, you'll be like, oh yeah. And you can share that with somebody else. So let it be a learning experience. And also give us your feedback, because though I think we did a pretty good job of signposting these things up front, again, because it's kind of something you have to go through and experience for yourself. We want to know how we can set people who have never done this before and are considering doing it because of us up for success and not just endless frustration. That's why we have the community, is because it makes it fun when this stuff sucks to like motivate each other to keep going, because it's worth it, but it can be frustrating. So we want to know how to make it more comfortable. Exactly. Alex, it's about that time when we should think about wrapping things up for the weekend so we can unwind things in the Circle community. So if you've got a last minute question, suggestion, good joke, word of wisdom, then let us know before we ride our dogs and ponies into the sunset. And if you are in the Circle community, then you don't have to worry about saddling up your dog and pony for another minute. You just got to take it next door. Rums.hq, rumshq.com.
My God.
I got to do it. Got to do it. Got to go out myself. I'm just loving today.
You're starting next week with one in the hole.
Oh, and I forgot to announce who won the points contest yesterday. So
oh my God.
I'm really
It wasn't you.
I'm doing great this week. Rumshq.com is the place you gotta go.
There it is.
To find the link to the community. We would love to see you there. Solon wants to know, Alex, when will USDC go to $2?
When the US dollar finishes depreciating to half of what it was worth. I guess so in that sense,
euro,
we're past it.
Ah,
yeah.
I see what you did there. How about this one?
It's a dream. It's a dream. We hope to see it someday. There's probably a joke in there about euros, buying euros with USDC, and although it's not quite twice as much.
This is a great comment from Raging Cajun. Can I get the frustrated Alex, like holding the flashlight from my dad as a kid? That's kind of what it's like.
It's on another level right now because I'm trying to do all of this like pre-moving stuff, and so like I have 2 appointments for technicians to come by the house today to either fix stuff or inspect stuff or whatever. And of course, like I was saying in the beginning, the time window was like between 8 and 5. And of course, at 8:05, the first one called me, was like, if we don't hear from you in the next 10 minutes, you're canceled for the day.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, awesome. Like, why does everything suck? Like, okay, thanks. Would it have killed you if yesterday you had just told me that we're going to text you at 8 to confirm your time? Like, great. Cool. Thank you so much.
Tell me why.
I need to do a lot of deep breathing, and I need more tea. And then I need to lay down flat on my floor.
Yeah.
Maybe cry for a little while or throw something. I don't know.
You ever been in one of those rage rooms where you get to break stuff?
No. And why I haven't, I don't know. It would probably add a year to my life.
I think I would really I feel like everybody would just enjoy that. I think that would be so fun.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself a very rageful person, but everybody has anger in them, and everybody likes to, express things with the instrument of their body. And I don't know. Maybe we should do a field trip, everybody. Barry Rolls says, how do you guys stay positive with years of crypto scams? Clearly not because of the rage.
What about me is giving positive?
This is a gross misrepresentation of facts.
That was a really good comeback.
It's the thing that keeps you here despite all this is one, like I know it's early in the industry's lifespan, so we know there's going to be a bunch of grifters because there always are. When the thing is like largely misunderstood, the opportunity to steal from people who misunderstand it, and there they are.
You'll appreciate this comment from Robot Steckler. She
Awesome.
says, my wife keeps saying she's going to take me to a rage room. I asked if I could bring my gun.
All right. Well, I'm going to go deal with this, so I'll see you in Circle in a few minutes.
Go deal with this. We'll see you in Circle in a few minutes. And wherever you are, whenever you listen, don't forget the URL is community.rumshq.com, or just remember rumshq.com. We got all the social links. We have got the Circle community. We have got a bunch of free or purchasable resources that can be made cheaper when you sign up for a free trial to the premium membership. After that, it's like $29 a month, depending on like what your local currency is, where you live. We have a lot of testimonials from a lot of people. You can try it before you buy it, and you can get discounts to all the stuff that we sell, like a one-on-one session if you just need some help. Speaking of which, Eddie, we're going to figure this thing out. Shout out to all the people who are here with us every day. We really do mean it when we say that you are the very best part of what we do. And now, my friends, we got to go. Going to Circle, live events, Circle after show. That's where we'll be. And if you're listening in the future, you can find the recording there. Shout out Circle. I absolutely love it. And if you can't make it there, then we'll see you same time, same place on